All right, let's pick up with opposite rays. Opposite rays, there are two rays that share an endpoint and point in opposite directions, forming a line. So I'll draw a picture. So in my picture I just have a single ray right now. So this would be ray AB. So the opposite ray of AB would also, it'd have to start at the same endpoint. It starts at A, but it points the opposite direction. So since that one's going to the right, we have to go to the left. It's not going up, it's not going at an angle, it's just got to make a straight line between the two. So let's say that it passes through C. So the two rays that I drew, I started with ray AB, and then its opposite ray, I would, usually we start with the endpoint, even though it's going the other direction, and C is to the left of A. When I name it, I usually start with the A, and so we would say ray AC. So AB, ray AB, and ray AC are the opposite rays. Okay, we'll go ahead and switch to the back page now. All right, starts off with another example. Example A, give another name for segment GH. So a segment has two endpoints, and the endpoints are G and H. We have to use those endpoints when we name them. There are no other letters we could use. We just have to switch the order. So segment HG would be the answer to A. For part B, name all rays with an endpoint of J. Let's do that first. So we start at J, we can go to the right. So we can go start at J and travel through F. I can start at J and go up, so travel through G. I can start at J, travel to the left through E, so JE. And I can start at J and travel down through H, so JH. So those are the four rays that all have endpoints of J. And then ask which of these are opposite rays. Well, JF, that travels to the right, and so then JE travels to the left. Those form a line. So JEF and JE are opposite rays. Likewise, JG and JH. They make a line. One goes up, one goes down. So that's a different pair of opposite rays. And then the last piece of notes here, we have our intersections. Most likely when you hear intersections, you think of where two roads intersect at a stoplight or a stop sign. And that's similar to what we're talking about here. Intersection is really where two things meet or touch, what they share. So if we have two lines, I'll draw a line first of all, one line, and if another line intersects that, they will touch, and the point, and there will only be one of them, we'll call it point A here. That point where they touch, point A, that is the intersection. But we can have more than just two lines. We can have other intersections, like we could have a plane that's intersected by a line. So let me try to draw that. So here's a plane. And a line. So similar to the other side of the paper, we had one of these trying to draw this in a way that we see that that line is not laying in the plane. Instead of like the plane is kind of laying flat, like horizontal, and the line is going up vertically through it. So the only point where they touch is this point right here. Let's call it point A as well. That would be the intersection of a line and a plane. So in both of those cases, the intersection was a single point. But the last thing we want to look at is two planes. And where two planes intersect, it is not just a single point. So drawing two planes is a little bit difficult. So I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit and draw them similar to, the bottom of this page we have a box drawn there. I'm going to draw basically just the front of the box and the top of the box. So here we have two planes, two different planes, and they intersect. And I put in points here right on those corners. The vertices, we'll call it point A and point B. And so the question is, what, we have to describe or tell what the intersection is. So we're telling all of the points where they touch. So you might be tempted to just say A and B, because those are 2 points where they're touching. But in reality, any point along that edge, everywhere on that edge, anytime I touch the edge, I'm touching both planes at the same time. So it's not just a single point, it's not just 2 points, it's all of those points in between. And then you understand that planes actually go on forever. So it's not just limited to the segment, but they go on forever. So that's a line. So the intersection of two planes is actually a line. We call it line AB, or line BA. All right, that's the end of the notes. The rest of this is practice. So you have a few pictures here similar to some of those examples we just went through. You're going to go through and answer these questions. That will be your assignment due tomorrow.